Hey, what's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about how we can invoke Agentforce agents with Apex and flows. This has recently come up on one of my projects, and I thought it would be a great video idea. So if you don't know, Agentforce agents could be invoked with the chatbot, but it also could be invoked with automation, and these are referred to as headless agents. So an event happens in Salesforce, and we need to call an Agentforce agent. So without further ado, let's jump into a quick demo. Then we could review the agent and review the flow and Apex automation. So let me switch. So here we have my Salesforce org. This is a dev edition, so it's got Agentforce enabled. We will go ahead and go to an account record. So I have an account record with some predefined data, and I have a top Agentforce topic that summarizes this account based on some data points. So we'll review all that. So I have two checkboxes called Flow Agent and Apex Agent. Once these are checked, the headless agent will run. So we'll just check both of them. The Apex does take a second longer. So we will refresh the page in a few seconds, take a look at the output, and then go over how I accomplish this. So it looks like we have both of our responses. One quick note, I prefer working with Apex. It gives you more control when you're dealing with JSON structures, the escape single quotes, and it kind of struggles with that in flows. You just don't have as much control. Obviously, flows are better for simpler automation, especially if you're dealing with clients that don't have developers on staff, don't have to maintain Apex, and so forth. So you can see both our responses are very similar, but a little different. And that's one of the things with AI compared to traditional software development. You can run a test script and you're not going to get the same exact result every single time. You're going to get a similar result and they might differ slightly. So even if you want to test this out, go on Claude or OpenAI, ChatGPT, whatever, ask it the same question 10 times. You're going to get similar outputs, but they're not going to be exactly the same. So now let's jump into the agent and the flow and Apex classes. So we will go to agent. So you should have one active agent. This is going to be an employee agent. And like I said, there is going to be one topic. It's called account summary. Here I set my description, my scope, and my instructions. So the description, very generic, just talking about it's going to be a natural language summary of the standard account record. And then I'm also adding what is going to trigger this topic. So that's important that you really go into the description. Like if it gets the prompt like summarize account with the name or run an account summary on blank on the account name, then the Agentforce will know that we should enter this topic, figure out the scope, figure out the instruction, and process the data the way we set it up. So for the scope, just giving it a high level that you're a account agent, you're going to summarize this account record based off some data points that we provide. And then for the instructions, also very vague, not really deterministic. You don't want to get too deterministic in the instructions, as in like, hey, run action 1 first and action 2, or if action 1 returns this, then do this. This should be high level. We should let Agentforce determine how it should run the actions. It should figure that out on its own. So here I'm just telling it to exclude any fields that are blank, generate a natural conversation summary using the account record data provided, never include field API name, record IDs, or system metadata. It just doesn't look good on to the end user. And return only one summary string. Apex will handle storing and setting the summary field. So another quick note, I know the best practices on instructions changed quite a bit. So initially it was like we want to add all our instructions into one box. Then it was multiple boxes. They go back and forth on this. With talking to some Salesforce and Agentforce technical architects on the Salesforce side, these instructions don't have order, right? So they get compiled into a JSON and sent to the LLM. So we can't control order. So that's something else to keep in mind when you're writing instructions. Don't think that this exclude any fields that are blank or not present will always be the first instruction the agent sees. Now we can take a look at our actions. There's two actions. One is a standard action to identify the record by name. We could also do this by ID with the get record details standard action. For this scenario, since it's so simple, I just decided to do name. And then we have a account summary template, right? So here I created a prompt using prompt builder, given it some generic instructions, generate a short natural language summary of the provided Salesforce account record. The summary should highlight key business details and be written in a professional tone, return 2 to 3 sentence paragraph without using field labels, bullet points, system metadata, respond with plain text only, right? Because we're setting these in long text fields, right? So we don't want any special characters and so forth. And then the object to summarize, I'm just saying will be the account record that get record by name standard action will return. And then we will take a look at our prompt template. So in Prompt Template Builder, I created a Flex template. This Flex template will, this is a summary template, not a Flex template. I've been working with Flex templates quite a bit. So this is a summary template. We're passing in the account, and then a very generic prompt, just telling it the same thing we already went over in the topic and the agent asset. Just natural language, give me a short summary based on these fields. I'm passing in name, account number, type, industry, rating, ownership, website, year started, number of employees, number of locations, annual revenue, phone, and the ticker symbol. And here I'm just telling it to make sure you limit it to 2 to 4 sentences. We don't want, a 5-paragraph thing about this account. Just a short summary so the sales rep can, if they get assigned a new account, they'll go to the account. They'll know right away what this account is about, what industry, how big the company is, how they should sell to this account. And then, so that's how the agent's configured. Now we'll go take a look at the flow. We got our account headless agent flow. This is pretty painless. One thing to note, these have to run in asynchronous functions or asynchronous paths or asynchronous methods in Apex. You shouldn't run these live because there will be a delay to make the call out to the LLM. The agent makes the call out to the LLM, gets the response, and passes it back. So we don't want to stall the system out by waiting for all that. I'm sure your performance would be very, very bad if it doesn't break. Okay, so here I am. I've added some filter criteria. If this flow agent boolean is set to true, go ahead and run the action. You can see I am running it as action related records. So this means it's going to run after save. Here I am calling my agent, passing the prompt, can you summarize account, and passing the record. And then once we get a response, I have a formula that parses out the response. So the actual response it gets, it's in JSON format. So there's like a user, which is agent, and the value is the actual response. So I'm just pulling out the value. And that's all you need to get it to work in flows. And now we will jump into the Apex. So I have a standard account trigger that fires after update. This calls a handler. My handler, after update, accepts a list of the new accounts and a map of the old accounts. And we just pass our data into our service function, right? So account summary agent. Passing in our list and our map, looping over our new list, initiating our old account from the map, making sure our Apex agent boolean changed and is set to true. And if that condition evaluates to true, we are adding that account ID to a list and passing this over to a queuable. In the queuable, we have our IDs. We query our account, just our names pretty much. Here I am setting up the prompt, so run an account summary on account name. I'm calling my service class, which will call the headless agent. And then I am parsing my response, which just pulls the value out of the JSON. And then I am initiating my account record, right? Setting the ID, and then setting the agent summary apex field, adding that to a list. Once all these accounts are processed, we're updating the accounts. This is all great, but you guys really want to figure out how we do this. So if we go into our service class, I just called it Agentforce Headless Agent API. So here I have two functions. They're pretty much the same. One accepts a session ID and one doesn't. The session ID is if you want to have a conversation with the agent and you want to ask it a secondary question and preserve that chat history, you would pass in the session ID. If it doesn't get a session ID, it's a brand new interaction. So we can call the invocable action, create custom action, and specify the generate AI agent response. This will call the agent, and we also have to specify the agent name. So in the queuable, you can see I am specifying account summary agent and passing in the prompt. Here I am setting my invocable parameter as the prompt, calling invocable action result and invoking the agent, and then getting my result. Then I pull the agent response and return that agent response. So that's how you would invoke a Agentforce agent using Apex. This response would obviously be returned to my class here, and then we could pull the value out, set the field, and that's all you really need to do. This took me a second to find and figure out how to do. It's really nice that Salesforce allows us to create these actions to create headless agents without actually utilizing the full Agentforce API and setting up named credentials, external credentials. If you have an external agent on like a website or something, you would have to go that route. But since this is internally in Salesforce and we're running this off of Salesforce data, it's really nice that we have the ability to do this natively in Salesforce. Alrighty, that's today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have any video requests for any future content, feel free to reach out. I'm always available here on YouTube or on LinkedIn. Feel free to find me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making more videos in the future. I will try to be posting more and more frequently. I just had a busy time in my life. I'm getting married. Work's been very, very busy. So I kind of got derailed for a little bit. But we'll be back posting more content soon. Thank you and have a great day.